Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico. And today we are here to continue on another wonderful week's worth of content. Well, yes, Nico, what do you mean? If you did not know, this week we had another Nico's Quick Chat, basically going over the changes in the adult industry and the society at large, and how it's beginning to intertwine and make super happy adult fun time no longer seem worth producing, if that makes sense. So if you want my tea, if you want my personal story, go check that out. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive videos, weekly live streams, and be a part of the live streams where we have multifaceted conversations with a varied panel depending on the week. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in. And last video's comment was about the Hugo Diamante situation. And they basically said, well, yeah, he doesn't have to date for looks since he's an opportunist. And that's the tea. You don't really got to care what somebody looks like if their bag is jingling right. But yeah. Now on to the actual video. Today we are going to be closing out the Austin Wolf court case drama. Now, if you do not know who Austin Wolf is, his real name is Justin Heath Smith, but we will be calling him Austin Wolf because that is his stage name and what he's known as. Justin Smith is a generic name, but that is his name. So, if you do not know who he is, he was one of the most popular performers of, I want to say not all time, but of his time, definitely. He has done collaborations with multiple studios. He has been a very important factor in the Just for Fans, OnlyFans community until his pages got stripped down because of the content he was uploading. Nico, what do you mean? If you did not know, Austin Wolf is currently in a court case surrounding children. It's no way else to say it. He's in a court case surrounding children. But when the information began to come out, suddenly performers began to say, "Oh, he was such a terrible person. I knew all along." So I do side eye some of the people that have continuously worked with him throughout the years because you knew something was going on. It was basically an open secret because after this happened, everybody began to come out with their stories about him. Even to the point that I was on a talk panel and one of my friends basically told their experience with him, and it was horrific. And they basically went into detail about what happened to them, about how he choked him into unconsciousness and continued the scene with his unconscious body. And from there, he told multiple super happy adult fun time recording companies, he told multiple performers, and they all said, "Oh my god, I can't believe he would do that," and then continued to work with him. So this has been an open secret, and once again, the industry tends to try to protect their own. I mean, that's the same for the mainstream industry as well. But in this situation, there is documented proof. There is documented proof. Austin Wolf just got sentenced to 19 years in prison. Nico, what do you mean 19 years in prison? So all of you sick fans that were sitting here going, "I hope he gets out in time so that he can continue to make super happy adult fun time content," I hope you enjoy that 63-year-old peen wagging on your TV. Nico, yeah, no, I was disgusted by that, especially because it was the videos where I was discussing his court case. But now that it's been sentenced, now that he has 19 years in prison, even though he and his team tried to get the minimal sentencing, I'm going to go into detail about what this man has been up to. Because honestly, it blew my mind. I'm like, oh my God, this went deeper than I thought. It was already horrific, but it gets nastier. So the original plea for guilty was because a black 15-year-old came out and told the court what had happened between him and Austin Wolf. When this boy was 15, he began to start communications with Austin Wolf in an adult manner. And from there, Austin Wolf is on file telling the boy that's a good little and he would make the little black boy call him massa during their sexual escapades via the text messages. I just, there are levels to it. And that's why when people are like, "Oh, well, race play is just the fantasy, it's just this," you are actually scarring people, especially because a lot of these people are targeting youth. They're targeting children. They're targeting teenagers so that they are more susceptible to this kind of brainwashing. It went even further, saying that at times Austin Wolf would communicate with so many children that he would begin to ask children to take pictures of their younger siblings for him. It got to the point where he was trying to meet up with a 7-year-old to have super happy adult fun time together. So when we come online and we talk about this, I don't want to hear no ifs, ands, or buts because it's documented. This isn't a situation where the government is trying to take down a popular gay man. He's still a white man at the end of the day. Like, that's the thing that I have to come online and talk about, because when we talk about, oh no, sometimes the government likes to use certain people of communities as examples. Austin Wolf is not that example. Austin Wolf is a terrible human being, and he deserves every 19 years in that prison. Honestly, for me, I don't think he deserves to be able to walk out that prison. Nico, what do you mean? Infants. He had videos of infants on his hard drives. 10-year-olds. Pictures of 10-year-olds and 7-year-olds mentally scarring and abusing 15-year-old black children. Like, there's so many levels to this. But unfortunately, because of YouTube's guidelines, I can't necessarily get deep into it. But if you want to, I'm going to link the article from Out Magazine where I got all this information in the description box. So if you want to go peruse and go into detail about what this man was really up to, I will give you that link and information down below. But at the same time, 19 years is too soft of a sentence. The fact that he tried to get the minimum of like 235 days because, you know, his lawyer came into the court and said he's a pinnacle of the adult community. He has no prior convictions, he is sober, and he is a pillar of the adult film community. This is discrimination. And I'm just sitting here like, so we gonna ignore all the videos, all the photos, all the text messages, all the recounted stories. Like, it gets to a point where y'all have to stop simping. Like, I understand the lawyer is being hired to defend him, but trying to throw him being a pinnacle of the adult film industry when the adult film industry was allegedly protecting him from all these performers coming out and saying, no, he's a fucked up individual. The industry doesn't support him. The higher ups might support him because they might be up to the same shenanigans, but no, the normal day-to-day performer that I meet go, no, Austin Wolf is weird. He has always been weird. Every time I meet him, he's been weird. I even went into detail about how he would go at teenagers in my last video, basically when they would come out and say, hey, so you convinced me to record that video literally the day after I turned 18 and I'm wildly uncomfortable with it being online. Could you at least just take it off or take it off Twitter and maybe just keep it on your OnlyFans? And he would tell them, no, you agreed to it, you knew what you were doing, it's your fault, and moved on. Like, he does that to people. He treats people like disposable bodies and he moves on. So no, I think he should rot under the prison. But that's just me personally. But now with the information in your hands, I'm going to leave the conversation up to y'all. Did y'all know about this? Did y'all see the news that he got sentenced to 19 years in prison? And if so, did you know that it went deeper than just the horrific child content that he was focused on? It went into race play. It went into physical violence. Like, there's so much that's fucked up about that 44-year-old man that I'm so glad that he will not see another day outside of prison in his youth to harm anyone else. But that's just my word, and I'm gonna leave the conversation up to y'all, and I'll see you guys next time. Boop. And now for a special yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Marcus and James F. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and thank you once again to everyone who supports the channel. We finally hit 46K girlies. And this week's live stream discussion is going to be over, is it better to be desired or ignored? Seeing as how we had a YouTube video about it a while ago, I thought it would be interesting to sit down and have a deeper conversation. If that sounds interesting to you, check it out tomorrow evening on Patreon.